did you get your mindset into this alter ego to be comfortable being Black Mamba?
It's a good separation for me, emotionally, to be able to put myself in a place where at practice or when I'm training and during games, I switch my mind to something else. For me, it's the equivalent of Maximus Decimus Meridius in Gladiator picking up the dirt, smelling the dirt, it's go time. Right? So that was my mental switch.
What I've learned is to always keep going. Always. And I've come to find out is that, no matter what happens, the storm eventually ends. And when the storm does end, you want to make sure that you're ready.
We're not on this stage just because of talent or ability. We're up here because of 4 a.m. We're up here because of 2-a-days or 5-a-days. We're up here because we had a dream and let nothing stand in our way. If anything tried to bring us down, we used it to make us strong. We were never satisfied, never finished, will never be retired.
Just let it go. It is what it is. You let it go, put it in God's hands, and He'll carry it. God is great.
Is it that simple?
God is great. Don't get no simpler than that, bro.
Everybody knows that, but the way you know it now, did you know it before that incident took place?
You can know it all you want, but until you got to pick up that cross that you can't carry, and He picks it up for you and carries you and the cross, then you know.
Those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream. That's the dream, not the destination, it's the journey. I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. I think that's what greatness is or should be. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever. Yeah. And I think that's our challenge as people, is to figure out how our story can impact others.
I see too many kids get so discouraged because they're expecting to make this quantum leap, and when that quantum leap doesn't come, it feels like it will never come, right? But that's not how it works. It's step by step. One foot in front of the other, day by day, get better every single day. And then when you look back, then you look down and you realize the mountain that you just scaled, right? But you can't jump from the bottom of Everest and get to the top of Everest like that. It doesn't happen. Superman is only in comics. Have a good time. Enjoy life. Life is too short to get bogged down, to be discouraged. You have to keep moving. You have to keep going. Put one foot in front of the other, smile, and just keep on rolling.
And if you got to get up every single morning and remind yourself how hard you need to work, you probably need to choose a different profession, because that shouldn't be there. I wake up in the morning excited to get to it. If I'm not training, I'm missing it. If I'm not watching the game of basketball, I miss it. There's no place I'd rather be. And if you have that feeling, then you're truly doing what God has put you on this earth to do.
You have to dance beautifully in the box that you are comfortable dancing in, right? So like everybody's box is different. My box was to be extremely ambitious within the sport of basketball. Your box is different than mine, right? Every kid here has their own box, but it doesn't mean that your box isn't as beautiful as mine. Everybody has their own. It's your job to try to perfect it and make it as beautiful of a canvas as you can make it. And if you have done that, then you have lived a successful life. You have lived with Mamba mentality. I'm not negotiating with myself.
Yeah.
The deal was already made. The deal was made. When I set out at the beginning of the summer and said, this is the training plan I'm doing, I signed that contract with myself. I'm doing it. Throughout that process, you'll start talking to yourself like, man, I think I need to, maybe if we, nope. No, this is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
People who have done phenomenal things, the journey that people go through, what is the inner conversation that they have, the inner monologue? How do each of us navigate through our own insecurities, our own moments of doubt? And then when you have those doubts, understanding where do those doubts come from in the first place? I think once you understand that, then really you can create anything you want. It's just a matter of first how to navigate the journey of the self. And once you have that, you can be dropped into any industry whatsoever and you can figure it out. The day could be today that your career is over. Now what do? You have these ideas about doing something, but what if
You have to figure out how to do that. Whether you win or you lose, as you go back and you look and you find things that you could have done better, you find things that you've done well that worked, figure out how did they work, why did they work. And but the hardest thing is to face that stuff. You know, it has its ups and downs. Things are never perfect. But through love, you continue to persevere. You move through. And then through that storm, a beautiful sun emerges. Right? And inevitably another storm comes. And guess what? You ride that one out too. So I think love is a certain determination and persistence to go through the good times and the bad times with someone or something that you truly love. I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. I think that's what greatness is or should be. It's not something that the most important thing is that you become the best version of yourself. That is the key. You know, get better every single day. Are you better today than you were yesterday? If the answer is yes, then you're on the right track. You know, that's Mamba mentality. Get better every single day.
I meditate every day. If I don't do it, I feel like I'm constantly chasing the day, as opposed to being able to be controlled and dictate the day. Not that you're, calling the shots on what comes forward, but the fact that I am set and ready for whatever may come my way. I have a calmness about whatever comes my way, and I'm poised. And that comes from starting the morning off with meditation. For me, it's really just listening to my inner self. That's basically it. Like you sit in silence and you just allow these thoughts to come forward, and you get a chance to observe the self.
Right now, imagine you wake up at 3, you train at 4, you go 4 to 6, come home, breakfast, relax. Now you're back at it again, 9 to 11, right? Relax, and now all of a sudden you're back at it again, 2 to 4, and now you're back at it again, 7 to 9. Look how much more training I have done by simply starting at 4, right? And so now you do that, and as the years go on, the separation that you have with your competitors and your peers just grows larger and larger and larger and larger and larger. And by year 5 or 6, doesn't matter what kind of work they do in the summer, they're never going to catch up because they're 5 years behind. And so for me, I tend to do things a little differently. So I felt an impressive 17 for 65 season would be a bold statement to wrap up my 20-year career. In all seriousness, I have a lot of respect for these two. We grew up in our sports together, and I know the sacrifices that went along with standing here today. We're not on the stage just because of talent or ability. We're up here because of 4 a.m. We're up here because of 2-a-days. We're 5-a-days. We're up here because we had a dream and let nothing stand in our way.